Hey guys, so just to continue on from my resin printing minis thing, I've done a video about building supports, putting supports in your models, and I've done a video about like, you know, more about the printing process and like draining your resin out of the vat and all that kind of jazz. This video is showing you guys the print that came out after I drained my vat, and as you can see, it's come out pretty good quality, and that's after not having used the printer for, I think, like, I don't know, it was at least 3 weeks. It was a while. I've been working my buns off, so I haven't had a chance to. And all I did was drain the resin. Like, there was a print sitting in the thing. This was the print that was sitting in there. It was a bunch of bases, so I just scooped that off. And yeah, drained the vat. There was one thing I did mention, that I don't like to clean my vat in between prints, and that's true most of the time. Like, if I'm printing pretty regularly, like every couple of days, I won't clean the vat. But because it had been sitting there for a few weeks, I just needed to wipe my cloth over the vat a couple of times. I don't clean it too much. I just wanted to get some of that stuff moving off of it. So there's that. I lied a little bit in my last video. There's the camera. Anyway, so here is the print that I did. So once I get these prints off, and like, this is still wet because I washed it and under alcohol and then water. I like to not cure my prints. If you can see how flexy that is, it's really cool having the stuff be really flexible. And I know you are supposed to cure your prints, but I find the printer does a great job of curing them enough. And then I find that if I take the models off this, like this, clean off all the little sprue things, and then immediately I seal them and paint them without letting them hit the sun anymore. And they've got enough flex in them that when if you drop the model, it's not going to snap. I find that if they're cured, they tend to snap. They get a lot more brittle. They snap easier. So I like to not cure my minis. That's really important, I feel. Anyway, but check this out. So, you know, cleaning the minis off is pretty easy. I'm just going to break off all these little supports, and it's like so much simpler than doing it on the FDM printer. I'm just careful around any kind of thing that's sort of sticking out, like this axe that Riverwind is holding, and there he is, broken off of his supports. Now there are little, I don't know if you can see, little knob things that are on there, and most of the time I can just get those off with my finger. If I can't, just a little scalpel like this, I just knock those off. And that's I mean, if I'm gonna be really wanting to do a super good job on my minis, I will take all the extra time necessary to make sure these are cleaned off, and I will take to them with a file. But, you know, just tearing the supports off and using a little scalpel can get pretty good results. I'll show you, actually. Alright, I'm back. So now, bear in mind, these minis, I wanted to do a fast job, so I broke them off their sprues. I didn't even use my spray gun to put the base coat on it. I used a Bunnings pack of, it was a spray pack for, like, you know, outdoor use. It's not even for miniatures. So this is one of the shittest jobs I've done on minis for a while, but even with a shit job, you can see they come out pretty well, and you can't see all the sprue lines and stuff, like, you know. So that's He-Man, obviously. I like designing up my own minis, because you can't buy STLs for He-Man or Skeletor. Anyway, but yeah, all of these guys were you know, really fast job. Anyway, so there's that. One tip I've got for you with your minis is do them without the base attached, because you can get the supports in much better places, and it'll make your model at the end look much nicer than if you're having to work around the fact that there's a base sticking off your mini. So I like to do like a little, I knocked these together, they're like a combination of road and there's a bit of like grass on the side of them, and I do them in lots of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they also break off really easily, like that. I tend to just tear these out really fast, and then I just use my finger to knock off the little extra bits here. A little bit between there, cool. But yeah, these are little bases that I make. It's not, the camera's not quite focusing on it. Yeah. There we go. So here's a model I was excited about. There's Lorana. Come here, Lorana. Get out. There we go. I'm just gonna this model here. Pretty excited about how this one turned out. There we go, she broke out nicely. Yep, she looks good too. There's a little bit of support in there that I can't get with my fingers. Any support that I can't reach with my fingers, I'll just take out with the scalpel. Check her out. It's pretty cool, hey? All these guys, I just look at a picture of them and I tend to like copy the pose and everything that they've got from the picture. But this is Lorana from Dragonlance, and she goes nicely with one of these bases with a rock on it, so her foot can go up on the rock like that. But printing your minis separate to your bases, that's the way to do it, I reckon. And not curing them, because you want them to have a bit of flex. Like if I didn't have this flex and I dropped this model, there's a good shot that you know, the top, her little top hair piece or her sword could snap off. Happens all the time. Even without curing it, there's a shot that could happen. But you know, having them have a little bit of give means that they can survive a bit better. Anyway, I think that's it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys the results of printing off my printer after letting it sit there for a few weeks with the resin in the vat. Anyway.